Hi there, it's Matt from TravelJoy. With our new linked group itineraries, you can now send individualized versions of a group itinerary without the hassle of creating and maintaining separate itineraries for everyone. Let's see how it works. To create those individualized versions of a group itinerary, you'll control the visibility settings on individual items within the master group itinerary. So let's say you're sending a group on the Disney Wish, and the different sub-trips within that group are all on different flights. So here you'll see I've added 2 flights to this itinerary. I'm going to come into each of them and control these visibility settings. So right now, this one Delta flight would show to all of the trips within this overall group trip. Let's say, though, that this is actually only one of the sub-trips flights. This is the flight for Brian's trip within this group. So now I've controlled the visibility settings for Brian to only show this Delta flight to him and no one else. Over here on this American Airlines flight, I'll do the same thing. So instead of showing this to every trip within this group, I'll say that this should be shown to Colleen's trip within this group and Jane's trip within this group. So now this American Airlines flight will only show on their versions of this itinerary. Everything else on this itinerary will still show to everyone. So I've added a full itinerary for the Disney Wish here, and all of these items have visibility settings for everyone. That means they'll show on everyone's version of this itinerary. So if you then want to come preview what those look like and send them, you can come in here and see that there's this master group itinerary. That's the generic version that contains the items only visible to all travelers. You can preview that or send that itinerary here. And then there's linked trip itineraries, which include those items that are visible only to specific troops within this group. So here I can preview Brian's version, which should only have that Delta flight, not the American Airlines flight. And you see that here. His version only has the Delta flight. If I then go back and preview Colleen's version, you'll see that she sees the American flight, not the Delta flight that we're only showing to Brian. With this setup, you never have to worry about items or itineraries being out of sync. Everything is controlled at the master group itinerary level, and all of those updates flow automatically to all of the linked trip itineraries. So when you update one thing on the group itinerary, it updates across all of the linked trip itineraries automatically. When you're ready, you can also come in here and send all of the linked trip itineraries. You can send them using a template to all of the individuals at once, or you can also send them individually one by one if you would rather.